Mr. Handsome walking up, and he goes, hey, look what I found.
Oh.
Isabel Cañas, The Possession of Alba Diaz. What? Where was that? Probably some demon possession, some sexiness. What was going on in 1765?
Europeans. I'm Brandon.
I'm Taylor, and this is Pepper.
God.
And we are ready for a reading update video.
We've been knocking it down. Knocking it out.
All of the above. It's Sunday, and it's time to update you guys on what we've been reading.
Yeah.
This is 2 reading updates in a row. Sometimes we like to fill
almost,
in.
really, right?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes we like to do something a little different in between.
Yeah.
But we've been reading books. Pepper,
All right, Pepper is wanting to be a part of the show.
I have
she
my
doesn't know how to
Pepper
read.
mug here. Let me see. And she thinks that we are great.
The best.
But she has really stinky breath, and she needs to go lay down. Okay, Pep. Goodbye. Exit stage right.
Yeah, you don't know how to read, so.
Okay. I've been reading a lot.
Yeah.
I finished a book. I started a book. I picked up a book that
Two.
you actually picked. Found it for me, and then I was so excited that it was available, and I can't wait to share it with you. I already know what the next book is going to be in Taylor's Alternative Book Club.
Lay down. You don't need to be there. Lay down.
She begs to differ, like I was saying.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of reading. It's a little light on your department, which for the first time ever, I feel like I've been reading and finishing.
Yeah.
It's not even that I've been reading more. It's just I think I'm in a place where I finished something and I'm on to something else, and you're still kind of working through.
Yeah. And also some of the stuff I normally would be reading on my own, we're reading together.
Oh, speaking of which, did you bring out the,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. We break this down in a couple different ways.
Yep.
We have our done and dusted books that we finished. We have our bookmarked.
Bookmarks in them.
We have
currently read.
Yes, we have our compelling pickups, which are books that we've recently picked up. I have a couple of those today.
And some quotes of the day.
And quotes of the day. Do you have a quote?
I do have one.
I do too. I'm excited to dive right in. Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to start with your done and dusted or mine? I do have one.
Go ahead and do yours.
Okay. I don't have it physically because it was an audio book.
There's a picture on the screen for folks at home.
Right here. It was the third in the.
You got her all worked up with all those hand gestures.
It was it was the third book in the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. I believe it's called The Bullet That Missed. And if you're a fan of those series, it's great. This one is just like all the others.
I always imagine these being cozy and cute.
They're very cozy. They're very cute. They're quintessentially British is what I always say, because that's exactly what we love about British television, and especially those like British comedies, but also British detectives. It's like a mix of a British comedy and a British detective
like Midsummer Murders?
I don't know, maybe.
Whenever we go out of town, like when we're on road trips or places in motels and we put the TV on, it's usually like, Dish Network or something like that. And we can always find Midsummer Murders.
Go away, I should call the police.
We are the police. Corsten CID.
And so it's become this thing whenever we go to a motel with the kids, like, let's watch Midsummer Murders.
Right. But no, I enjoyed listening to him. The narrator of this one was very good. It was a single narrator, but did all the voices, all the characters, and distinguished them. And the story was really compelling, just like the other ones were. But there's just enough of like humor, and like you really feel like these are real people, like real retirees, because that's the essence. They're retirees in this like kind of like retirement village. And they're just solving cold cases or trying to solve cold cases, and they actually start getting involved in actual like crime that happens to them or suspected. So it's really fun, like just like your grandma and her friends like hanging out, talking. And
I want to, when I'm of an age, I would love to be involved in something.
I know.
Like sleuthing.
And it's funny because at the end of the audiobook, there's a little like author's interview with Richard Osman, and that's what he says is like, you just want to feel like these are your friends, or you want to be there, because he based it off of his mom's retirement community that he would go visit her. He's like, it's basically, I'm just writing her story, but minus the murders.
I like it. That's cool.
But yeah, and so now I'm excited because the show or movie, I think it's a movie coming out to Netflix next week.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool. But I gave it 5 stars.
Of course you did. Okay, my finished is the Taylor's Alternative Book Club book for August.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just keep putting this one up. Oh my God.
Love it.
This one. My favorite thing is monsters. Last time I talked about this on the reading update, I was only maybe like a third of the way, maybe 20, but I was not very far. But it's a graphic novel, and you can see that it's gorgeous, but it's very much a graphic novel. So you can get through it relatively quickly. It's not, pages and pages of text.
There's pages and pages of just images.
And it's an amazing visual experience.
Yeah.
Okay. The illustrations are incredible. The author does the illustrations. This is Emil Ferris. It is something very, I don't think the word revolutionary. I think if I say revolutionary, it makes it seem much more, I don't know, let's building it up. But there's something about this that is just very special in the way that it tells its story, in the illustrations, in the just like the emotional arc that happens, and also the cinematic quality of the way everything's positioned on the page. It's really incredible. The story is a relatively simple story for people at that time. I mean, like, what's happening is unique to people. Everybody has like their own story to tell, and it's, you know, interesting, and there's a mystery involved. It goes back to, there's flashbacks for a particular character that go back to the German occupation and like the Nazis and the plight of like the Jewish people at that time, that whole thing, for lack of a more poignant term. But it talks about that. And that's really interesting. But the whole, like, the premise of the story is that you have this young girl, she's 10 years old. She has this feeling of just being different than most girls. She's not like most girls. She kind of thinks that she's ugly or like not very girly. And she just paints herself to be this different specimen of a girl. And so she likes to imagine herself as a monster. And so when you see her in the story, in all instances where she's present, she's this little like Wolfman Jack monster. That's kind of what she looks like. And there's one instance where you actually see a reflection of her in her human form, which is a really interesting and emotional moment.
And also considering that she drew it that way.
Right. Yeah. And she is, among other things, trying to figure out who murdered her upstairs neighbor, Annika.
Okay.
No, Anka.
Anka.
Yes. And in the process of doing that, she's learning things about her brother. She's learning things about her neighbors. She's learning things about her own self and then her mother. And all of this kind of stuff is going on, some more detrimental and traumatic than others. And it's just this process of learning about Anka and who killed her and all of that. But then you dive into Anka's past. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's really incredible. So I feel like, long story short, I'm sure I'm going to cut a lot of that out. But it's great. I thought it was fantastic.
There's like a point where you were reading it and you were texting me like, this is like kind of hitting on some things that. And then you got to the end and you're like, what? Yeah. And you want to like know more. You were like, this is.
I mean, there's tragic stuff that happens in this that are, you know, it's hard. Certain things that I think I am unique in that it's hard for me to read about.
But the reason I said that is because at the end you did really enjoy it and liked it and want the next one. Yeah. And that's what we're seeing in our Patreon chats, and people mention it. There's like they couldn't put it down. They loved it. Right. It's amazing. But then other people are like, I got to put this down. It's a little too heavy or.
Oh, whatever. Really? I didn't read any of those. So
beautiful art, but like had to put it down.
It is heavy. I mean, there's some topics in here. Oh, I think I know what you're referring to. So like the medical part of it. Yeah. I don't do well reading about people with chronic illness. I'm just going to be completely honest. It's a weird thing with me. So, you know, there's something like that in here. But there's other stuff in here. There's other stuff in here that is like really heavy hitting and just kind of gross. And I don't know. So I would go into this knowing you're going to be dealing with some dark, heavy themes. Yeah. It's not one of those books that you sit down and you're feeling cozy.
Just because it's a illustrated book.
Oh.
It's not fun, happy-go-lucky
No, and it's not, I feel like I need to say this is not for children.
Right.
I don't know. So that's just my
I gotta have a certain maturity level for it.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm probably going to cut a lot of this out because I feel like I've been belaboring this. But it is a really interesting experience. I feel like that's what this was an experience. I didn't read a book. I had like an experience.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what you want sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And I think I don't know, it just kind of bridges that gap between like cinema and literature. Yeah. Like you do feel like you're watching this thing play out in front of you, the way that she moves. Like there's parts where she has to she's moving. She's like falling or tumbling. And the image is like in a comic book, right? Like you see the move. Yeah. And I don't know, I've never really read anything with any kind of seriousness like that before. So anyway, I finished this. I gave it, I guess like right now, I would just say I'm going to give it a 5 stars. It's absolutely effective in what it does. And I'm excited to pick up the next one. Cool. From what I gather, the next one is not as revolutionary as the first one, but it's a good story.
Yeah, good. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I don't have any other finished ones, so you want
I
to move
don't
into
either.
bookmark?
Yeah, let's do the bookmark.
Okay, so
Go for it.
we got a couple bookmarks together we'll get to, but the bookmark I'm reading by myself, I showed that I was going to be starting it. It's The Nix by Nathan Hill. And this is the one that I'm reading with my brother and my aunt, and that I just kind of got into, and we realized that it wasn't what we thought it was. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not about Nixon. It's not about the 60s.
It's not
or
about anything
hippie
you would think it's about based on the cover.
Yeah,
Which is why we
but
don't read a book by its cover.
it is a really interesting, fun story. There's humor in it, but it's telling the story of how the main character, Steven Anderson or Anderson,
Anderson or something.
How he is kind of coming to terms with the fact that when he was a boy, his mom just left. Like, she just comes in middle of the night, says, "Hey, don't be scared," and then she just leaves. And then it kind of you're kind of piecing together this story about his mom. She's very mysterious. She's also apparently now back in his life because she attacked a potential.
Don't say it. I think that might be a spoiler.
It's the first page.
Oh, okay, good. Well, because the only reason I'm saying that is the flap doesn't specify what she's done.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but she does something. He's now back in life, and he's trying to find out why she left. But also, there's some mysterious things that happened before he was born with her that he's never heard, and it's kind of starting to come to light. But the way he's telling this story is almost like little vignettes of other people, and they kind of weave together, and then it'll go back in time to his childhood and tell stories of his development and why he's maybe the way he is now, or kind of explaining what his relationship with his mother. Then it comes back to present time for the story, weaving in the troubles he's having, but all the time it's just really well done and put together. But also, it's a little bit of like a commentary on what's going on in the U.S. at the time of this book. So there's like Occupy Wall Street movement there, or when it goes back in time, it's like the civil rights movement after Martin Luther King gets assassinated.
What is modern time in this book?
This is like 2000. This book was written in 2016. I believe this takes place in
2010s.
2010s.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you say Occupy Wall Street, so I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think the present time, because at each part there's parts, is a different time era. 2011. So this is when it's kind of mainly taking place. But I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun journey that I'm going on, and the characters that you get introduced to and the way they talk and interact, it's good.
I think that
it's not a story. It's not a style of book I've read a lot in the past. It's there is a narrative going through, but it's not straightforward. It's going to kind of.
So I was going to remark on that because I feel like whenever if I ever read a review for a book and people in the review or in the summary, it says you have different stories of different people coming together in one. I usually find that I tend to not want to read those books. I find that sounds like a lot, and you have to invest your energy into really trying to remember these different stories and little tableaus and vignettes of people's lives.
I think the way I'm explaining it isn't really what that is. It's more of it's background information on something you've learned or getting told, and so you're just going back and forth, and then you'll get introduced to what is really just a side character, and you'll get a glimpse of their life, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, and it's more like a commentary on that kind of person.
Well, but
and
also too,
and then it gets drawn back into the main story.
And I understand how that works. I guess whenever you're on page 225.
Yeah.
I think so. If all of that has happened to page 225, I think what it is that I feel so it just sounds like each of these little separate vignettes is a whole nother story, but obviously not.
They're all, like I said, they weave in really well. They come together. You go off on this side quest or side story with this other seemingly insignificant character that kind of just gets mentioned or is talked about briefly with the main character, and then you just hear what they're doing and kind of you get in their mindset for a little bit,
right? And
then it comes back to the main character or the main storyline, and you see the connection and what that's going to play overall.
That happens in my favorite things. The thing is Monsters. Yeah. It happens in Mistress of Rome, but it's more all happening at the same time, but from different perspectives. Yeah. Okay. But you're talking about flashbacks or getting stories from things. See, I think that's an important thing for people to understand the magnitude, or maybe I don't know, the severity, how significant those parts are. Because I will say the one major thing that turns me off from Lonesome Dove is that.
Oh yeah.
Like whenever like he's talked about Lonesome Dove, he's like, oh, you get all these stories of all these different people, all these things, and I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, I guess when it's done well, it's really good.
Oh, I'm sure.
It feels like you're just living with these characters.
I would be interested because my dad didn't think as highly of Lonesome Dove as you did, and I would be interested to know if that's why.
I think that was what he said. It took a while, to get into it.
It's just too much. It's too much story.
Well, it's too much story, or it's not too much story. It's story development, it's character development, and it's really like immersing yourself into this.
It's so funny because I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's weird. It is interesting. Like our little nitpicks are the things that people steer away from, and you can comment below if you're like that. Yeah. But you like that kind of thing. I do tend to.
I think I tend to do, and I maybe I just don't realize it's happening. Like I kind of just buy in.
It fits you.
Yeah.
You don't like.
But it's not to say like I don't. I'm just like a good like Cormac McCarthy's books. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they're simplistically descriptive. Like you get broad strokes a little bit more.
But you're not going off on side quests all the time.
Not all the time. You kind of just are sticking. But it I don't know. It feels maybe I'm misinterpreting it. But
I think you're interpreting it just right. I just think it fits with your style of reading a little bit more. It's so weird too because video games. This is a very chatty episode. But video games that we played Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah. You've heard us talking about those. Very side quest heavy.
Yeah, you can go off
3, very side quest heavy.
From the main story for hours and hours.
Oh yeah, and I love that.
And it develops a different storyline.
Oh, I know, and I love that.
Yeah.
But I don't love that in books. Until I unknowingly read a book that has it, and I'm just like, this is amazing.
I think that's what happens to me. Like, I think if somebody told me like, oh, there's gonna be all these different storylines, or that you're gonna go off. If you get told that up front, you're like, I don't know if I want to read that.
Because it's daunting.
But if you just that's why I find that if I just go into a book, like with our book clubs or with my brother and my aunt, if it's a book they're suggesting, I just read it. Yeah. And that's why when I picked this up, I didn't even know what it was about. Yeah. But I'm in and I'm loving it, and it's.
You're a very admirable reader, because I wish I could be more like that. I am becoming more like that, but. It's just kind of interesting, and it's funny going back to the video game thing because apparently that's like the best way I can like link it. We just played the Mafia, the Old Country, which is incredibly linear. There are no side quests, and I really enjoyed that. Maybe it's like a time, like a
it's whatever. It's a vibe,
space.
A mood.
It is. It's so a mood. Wow.
Mood reading. All right. What about your bookmark? Yeah, I am.
Okay, so I am reading Pompeii. Now I was stuck between 3 different books about a week ago because one of the book pickups, I was stuck between 3 different books. Why spoil it? I was stuck between 3 different books. I threw a poll out there on the Patreon, and it was a tie between this and the book I'll talk about later. And I felt like when I put the 3 out there, there's always the one you kind of want,
you're like,
but it's like you're just not willing to commit.
That's how you decide,
Yeah, this was the one I wanted to read because it was not the easy choice. Like the one that most people picked was like, okay, the easy choice. Of course she's going to definitely. Well, it was a tie because I voted for this one. I voted in my own poll and brought it to a tie. Anyway, and I was kind of happy it worked out that way because I felt like, okay, this is the universe's way of telling me this is the one I should read. And so I'm reading this one. And the other one, which we'll talk about in a moment, is going to be the next Taylor's Alternative Book Club. Anyway. This book, now, if you've been watching us for a while, you know that I've read the Wolf Den series by Elodie Harper, taking place in Pompeii, roughly around the time of the eruption. Okay? And then I just finished Mistress of Rome, taking place in Rome after the eruption in the 80s and then early 90s, not having anything to do with the eruption.
Not 80, not 1990s.
No, 80. Like the 80s and literal 80s and 90s, no 19 at all. And that was, time period very, similar to this. Yeah. I love books set in ancient Rome. I just love it because I'm fascinated by the history. I'm just fascinated. This book tells an interesting story because it's called Pompeii. It does not start in Pompeii, and it takes a little while before I'm not even necessarily to the point where I'm understanding why it's titled Pompeii, other than that we're definitely dealing with the eruption. The eruption is obviously front and center in this because it takes place in 79 AD in August, which is when that happened.
Yeah, days away.
Literally days away. And I think the first chapter, here's that map. First chapter is days before the eruption. Yeah. But our main protagonist is an Aquarius, and he is in charge of working on the Aqua Augusta, which is the aqueduct that runs through the Bay of Naples. Okay. One of the biggest aqueducts that was providing water to all of the Bay of Naples. Yeah. Anyway, he's been tasked with taking over this aqueduct because the previous Aquarius has left. We don't know where. He's starting to discover that there's some issues going on that he realizes are even greater in scale because of sulfur intrusions into water that is affecting people in the area of Misenum, where he is at that time.
Right.
He works at what is called the, pardon me, I'll find it, the name will be on the screen. I don't want to go hunting it down, but it is a place that is a cistern that holds all of this water in Misenum. You can actually go to this place.
Still there.
It is still there.
Still working,
and you can
or no?
walk through the cavernous cistern, and it is incredible. I looked it up. This is one of those books like you like to Google and read at the same time to see these places that are being talked about. It's
rich and historical.
You're going to be constantly just, what? This place, and I'm annoyed that I can't think of what it's called. It's called like a something marbilis. It's so amazing to me.
Yeah.
And you can still walk in there. And it held water. So the Aqua Augusta, that was its like terminus.
Yeah.
Okay. And all the water was there and then whatever. Anyway, obviously things are rumbling in that area at this time, and it's starting to cause sulfur to seep into the water, which ends up poisoning some fish, and things start to happen. The water actually stops coming. It just gets blocked. So this is what this is, in my opinion. Pliny the Elder is involved, which I love, is that this is the precursor, or all of the little things that are happening before the eruption of Vesuvius that are being picked up by the people are starting to notice things, but from the perspective of people that dealt directly with the water infrastructure at the time. And it's fascinating to me.
That's great.
But I will tell you, as fascinating as it is to me, I mean, I wrote down in my in my journal
You're 80
here.
pages in.
Yeah.
You started like 2 nights ago, last night?
Yes. It says, would you recommend this? I said yes, particularly to those who like to immerse themselves in a historical setting from a more common perspective or a more utilitarian perspective, something like that.
The emperor himself.
Yeah, like not like the emperor, some kind of like female like love interest, even though I love that as well. It says,
Time and place.
Yeah, my first impressions. The opening clearly foreshadows the crisis of the eruption, and the story is slow to build, but I find myself captivated and completely immersed in the setting. And that is so true. It's like it could be, if you're waiting for some kind of just action-packed this, and this, like it could maybe be conceived as like dry. It's considered as dry.
Yeah.
But I don't think that. I could see where people would think that. I don't think that. I think it's so fascinating to me.
Yeah, well, you've shared this now a couple times on the videos. And people have said they enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Found it compelling.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I have had some people that mentioned that they did like it. It's an interesting read. And so if you like to immerse yourself in a time period and get it from the perspective of somebody that worked on some of, in my opinion, the most miraculous thing. I mean, there's a quote in the beginning of this that makes you really appreciate. I mean, you should already appreciate how they had indoor plumbing in the Roman times. Yeah. I think that's remarkable. But it says, how can we withhold our respect from a water system that in the 1st century AD supplied the city of Rome with substantially more water than was supplied in 1985 to New York City?
Yeah.
And so this really kind of emphasizes that. I've been reading this whole thing, Googling maps of the Bay of Naples, just like, I want to know where these, I need to see, I have to know. And I'm like, this book would just be a great one for a map. What? Guys.
She passed over it.
How did I miss a map? I completely missed the map. Not only does it show you the Bay of Naples, it shows you the Aqua Augusta, all the places that are being mentioned. Like, I don't even know.
Maps are great.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous how I love this book.
Good.
I'm really absolutely enjoying this book. And it's kind of a small little book, easy to tote around. Robert Harris, Pompeii.
Cool.
Oh, we were teasing on the Patreon, Allie.
Oh, yeah.
Terrific, gripping, a literally shattering climax.
She was like, spoilers.
What could possibly... Oh, Gerardo's here. We got to wrap this up because Gerardo's blowing debris out of our backyard. Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah. You want to just get into these 2 bookmarks?
Yeah, let's do it. We got a couple more bookmarks. We'll make this one a little bit.
We have 2 together books that we're reading, both part of our Patreon book clubs. We got the main book club for Patreon, which is Kiki's Delivery Service by
Cadono.
This is
Cadono.
This is August's book. We're taking our time with this because we read it with the boys on the couch before bed, and then they also are reading their own stuff. So we're 40 pages in. Taylor didn't like it; thought it was very juvenile, written by a juvenile. but now she's starting to come around
It's
to it a
getting
little bit
cute.
more.
It's becoming cutesy.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it. I'm not like dying to read it or anything.
Yeah, but we definitely need to kick it into gear to kind of finish this
It's
thing
my
off.
fault. I just haven't been as motivated. It's
Because
fine.
we are going to be doing a live next week.
Yeah.
Because it's the end of the month.
Yeah.
And we'll be
because
doing
we
a live.
can't help it. We want to hang with
we
our
love
people,
hanging out
man.
with the people on Patreon. So we'll be doing that on Patreon. So if you want to, this is a book you can read in a day.
Gerardo is getting closer.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Butcher and Blackbird.
Yeah, and then this is the Brandon Smutty Book Club by Bryn Weaver, Butcher and Blackbird.
I don't have anything else to
First
say
in the
about this
Ruinous
book.
Love Trilogy. We're getting into it, but I will say Bryce asked us how far we are. My
Yeah.
brother, he's reading it as
Yeah.
part of the book club too. I go, we're about 26% of the way in. He's like, oh, I'm about 75%, and the smut really kicked off. I'm like, okay. But I mean, we're reading it. It's, we're starting to get to the fence that
fine.
they're gonna start getting together for reals. Like, I don't know. But we read this together.
I just don't know
after
what
the
else I
boys go
can
to
say
bed.
about this book.
Yeah, we're not too much further ahead than we were.
It is not literature.
No, but it's fun.
It is not
paperback trash.
good writing.
Check the merch.
It is, yeah. It is not great characters. These aren't real people.
Yeah.
People don't talk like this. This kind of stuff doesn't happen. You're suspending all of your disbelief.
I will say,
But I'm having fun.
but I will say that somebody mentioned that
I like how you didn't want me to grab my finger away.
someone one of our patrons from the UK said that, oh, you're just, in the UK we're all cursing every other word. So this is.
Oh no, it's not that.
Oh, okay.
It's not that I have a problem with people throwing the F word around. It's poor placement.
I see.
The thing about the F word is that it has to be done right. You have to deliver it properly. And if it's and also too, like listening to like people in the UK speak who like to throw bad words in there, there's something about it that just fits. But listening to these people,
I responded saying that
I'm just like, they don't talk like that. It's just
I
weird.
responded saying that I think it's just from us being both teacher backgrounds and having small children that we lost our casual cursing.
I don't know. I think I've gained it. Honestly, I think I use the F word more often now than when it's just the two of us than I used to. I think Gerardo has like gone further afield, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, book pickups.
Yeah.
Well, the
What
one
do
I
you
was
got? You got two.
hinting at, that was part of my like poll. Brandon comes up to me. We were at the bookstore the other day.
The boys are buying Legos.
They were buying Legos
because they
with
get
some
a discount.
Great grandma money. That was very generous. And I was looking around at books. I'm like, man, I don't know. There's nothing I need to be buying right now. No books that are interesting me. I don't know when Isabel Cañas is bringing out her book, because her next book is coming out. Because I loved The Hacienda. I loved Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. I don't care what anybody says. I loved them. So here comes the Brandon.
Rachel Gilly.
Mr. Handsome walking up, and he goes, hey, look what I found.
Oh.
Isabel Cañas, The Possession of Alba Diaz. What? Where was that? I was literally looking for it. I couldn't find it.
I thought it was supposed to come out.
Yeah, but here it is.
It's just sitting right on the
So excited for this. Now,
shelf.
these books are typically kind of like interesting horror-tinged allegories for actual things that were going on in Mexican culture, like whether it was
Mexican history.
Mexican like social history or military history, things like that. I think this is going to dive into something like that. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit of the Mexican-American War, I believe.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that wouldn't be
that.
this. This is before that. This is 1765. What was going on in 1765?
Europeans.
So it was New Spain.
Yeah, New Spain.
Okay, anyway, so we're going to get the Mexican-American
Atrocities.
War
Just
was
no
vampires of all-
atrocities.
Yes. Probably some demon possession, some sexiness. I love her and I love her books, and I can't wait to read this.
Cool.
This was the one that won the poll until I voted for this one to try to even it out. But this is the one I really wanted to read.
You're going to read it, but it's going to be the September alternate book
It is
club.
the September Taylor's Alternative Book Club for the Good Books Lately book clubs. Be a member of Patreon. Head over there. That's where all the book clubs live. Excited about this. Okay. Have I mentioned that we played Mafia?
Yeah, you did.
We played Mafia.
The old country.
This is an opportunity.
Do you wish to commit to this family?
And whenever I play these, like,
She gets into it.
like these historical games or whatever, I get super into that. And then I want to, like, steep myself in all of it.
Yeah, she starts speaking Italian, cursing in Italian.
I was looking for books about the mob.
Yeah.
Obviously, I could read The Godfather, which I would like to do as a book club book.
You haven't watched the movie either, have you?
I want to read the book first. I've never seen the movie, but I think I want to read the book. Anyway, I found this book, Mob Queen. I got this on Pango Books used for a really reasonable price, and the lovely person who sent it to me sent me with some really adorable stickers, one of which was this. Isn't that cute?
Bibliotherapy.
Bibliotherapy. Anyway, this is a book about a woman who is from Georgia, moves up to Chicago because she gets married to some guy. The guy's a complete just abuser, horrible dude. She becomes friends with a woman, and she and this woman figure out a way that she can separate and get revenge for her husband.
Okay.
It just ends she ends up divorced and destitute and kind of, you know, in a pickle. And so she and this woman that she meets, they start working at this restaurant, and this restaurant's a real popular haunt for the mob in Chicago at the time, and it takes place in the 40s. I believe 30s and 40s, or just 40s. Well, I mean, obviously it's one. It's not going to take.
Yeah.
I don't think it goes that
Set
far.
in the 1930s.
Yeah. Anyway, what happens is her friend ends up disappearing because she gets wrapped up with some kind of mob guy.
Wow.
And she ends up disappearing. Well, this woman, she's like, I got to figure out what's going on. She gets herself in with the mob, but not only does she get herself in with the mob to try to find out where her friend is, she starts climbing the mob ladder and really starts to just realize
Like,
that
I got a knack for this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not only is she trying to leverage this to, you know, help find her friend, she's becoming the mob queen.
Wow.
And it's kind of how she's realizing that this is her way that she can find out what happened to her friend. But now she's also in possession of some serious power.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
You don't want to give up power once you have it.
I know.
Cool.
That's Mob Queen by Aaron Bledsoe.
All right.
I'm excited for that one. Oh, it has a smoking gun on the spine.
Wow.
That's upside down.
That's all right. Cool. That's all your book pickups?
That's it.
All right. You want to go quotes?
Quote of the day.
All right.
You talk.
I'll go. I got a quote. This quote is just like an easy, quick quote. I thought it was kind of funny. The main character's he plays computer games.
Okay.
Plays this game in the book called Elfscape. It's like one of those, it's kind of like World of Warcraft kind of games. You build up and level up and all
Did you say Hellscape?
Elfscape.
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 Okay.
So it's similar. But so something happens and he goes on to the game and he's like, hey, does anybody want to go meet for a drink? And everyone's like, no, weirdo. This other guy, you get a story about him and he's like, he's a wreck. He's like a mess. He's like, yeah, I know a place. He gives him this place. So they're meeting at this place. It's a bar that's by his house, by this other guy's house. It used to be a strip club, but it's just like a bar because they don't allow stripping in this town.
Yeah.
And so there's just TVs there. It's really depressing sounding. He's like, they're kind of both able to talk about their problems a little bit. And so the main character finally tells him what's going on and what he needs, he's stuck. And so the guy's like, well, I think, you know, everything I learn in life is like, it's like video games. And he's, what do you mean? And he's like, your philosophy came from video games? I find this to be also true in life. Any problem you face in a video game or in life is one of four things: an enemy, an obstacle, a puzzle, or a trap.
Very true.
That's it. Everyone you meet in life is one of those four things. And then he goes on to say, like, all you got to do is figure out which one it is. And so he tells him his problem. He's like, okay, so is it a enemy? Would your life be better, or would your questions be answered if you just went away or this person never attacked you or whatever? He's like, no. He's like, okay, then it's something else. So he goes through and he finds out that it's an obstacle. I got to figure out another way around this problem.
That's really interesting. That's very
kind
profound.
of an interesting, like, way to view your problems in the world.
It's
so I thought it was
video
kind of
game
fun.
logic.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure video game logic can transcend like
for
all
sure.
formats.
Yeah,
That's
or
good.
it comes from normal logic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
I like
You got a
it.
quote?
Okay, yeah, I have a quote from Pompeii.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so this is kind of like what makes being an Aquarius, like what you have to be considered
You
a
got to
good
be born during a
Aquarius.
certain month.
A good Aquarius, his father had said, should know more than just the solid laws of architecture and hydraulics. He should have a taste, a nose, a feel for water, and for the rocks and soils through which it had passed on its journey to the surface. Lives. I think it might be Gerardo needing to
No, it's Nico.
Oh, is it? He might be giving me the dehydrated milk for the bread. It's Nico with the milk.
Be Nigel with the brie.
Hey, Nico.
Is there an egg something?
Inside, Pepper. Hey, Pepper girl. Get inside. Yes, sloppy girl.
One of the things that an Aquarius has to do is be able to know if the water is contaminated. And
Okay.
at the time, one of the only ways you could really do that was to taste the water. Okay.
Sippy sip.
Yeah, and you wouldn't swallow it if it tasted weird. Okay. A good Aquarius, his father had said, should know more than just the solid laws of architecture and hydraulics. He should have a taste, a nose, a feel for water, and for the rocks and soils through which it had passed on its journey to the surface. Lives might depend on this skill. And that's something that comes up. It's relevant in the story because that's how you would detect detect sulfur in the
Right,
water. And
of
so he
course.
knows that he has to not only be able to tell if there's something poisonous in the water, but also he can learn about where the water comes from. And there were
Contaminants and
and at that time,
sediments.
places in the Roman Empire, people would know the taste of the water.
Right.
It would have because of where it would come from.
Yeah, there's not really. It was just natural filtration.
Right.
There wasn't no Brita filter.
That's right.
RO systems.
Can I read one more?
Sure.
I just lost my page. I took my
You were on
bookmark
page.
out of my page.
You were on page 80.
And put it in.
You were on page 80.
Thank you. How do you know?
Because I looked at it and I said it to the camera.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Okay, this next one, because this is a chatty episode. 60.
Chatty catties.
Yeah. All right. This one is Pliny the Elder is thinking this, and he's kind of admiring the people, the architects, the engineers, the people that helped literally build Rome.
Yeah.
He goes, senators might dream of empires, soldiers might conquer them, but it was the engineers, the fellows who laid down the roads and dug out the aqueducts, who actually built them and who gave to Rome her global reach.
Nice.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Good one.
And those two things, like big underlying themes in this book.
Of course, yeah.
It's like so much of the success of the towns in Rome relied on the people that were
That's
part of
what
the
made Rome.
Exactly.
Was their ability to create infrastructure.
And the people who had the expertise to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's
all
all
we
we
got.
got. A lot going on in this episode.
But
this was fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
But
let us know if there's anything here that you're inspired to try yourself.
Right. What books are you reading? What have you finished?
Head over to Patreon, get involved in the book clubs and the chat threads. The chat threads are
fun over
always
there.
a light
Yeah.
conversation.
We share all kinds of things, not just books.
No, all kinds of stuff. Definitely check out the after show because we are going to be talking about the next book for the Good Books Lately
The main book
club for September. It's a good one. I'm excited about this.
It was
is
mythological retellings was the theme.
and it's Norse.
this is
It's a
Norse one.
Norse mythological retelling. It's supposed to be really good. Come to the after show, hear us talk all about it, and then get involved in the book club.
Yeah.
So don't miss it. All right,
Yeah.
we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.